I don't want to set the world on fire.
Now, you may know Washington State. You know, a place boasting a beautiful mix of city and country. But just off the coast of Washington are real hidden gems, the San Juan Islands. They're located just 45 minutes from the coast. The San Juans are an entire world apart. Unlike Seattle, the San Juans have 250 days of sunshine and blue skies. This Pacific Northwest treasure offers rustic outdoor fun, as well as some of the finest cold water seafood and abundant local produce. So come on along, bring your shades and a sense of adventure. These islands will make you feel like a kid again. So what I love about the San Juan Islands is how you get to them. We came in on a seaplane. It's only 30 minutes from Seattle.
Yeah.
And there's 172 of the San Juan Islands, but we're just checking out the two big ones, right? We're going to Orcas, and we're going to this one, San Juan Island. And we're going to go to a lavender farm today, and we're going to check out alpacas.
Your favorite.
My favorite. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. San Juan Island, the most inhabited of the islands, is divided into two main harbors, Friday Harbor and Roche Harbor. Located smack dab in the middle of the two harbors, you'll find Pelindaba Lavender Farms. Oh, smells amazing.
Nestled in the picturesque Sawtooth Mountains of central Idaho is the town of Bellevue, a town that had not had a homicide in more than 10 years. Here, the Johnson family felt safe. Alan was a landscaper. His wife Diane worked as a tax collector.
Alan was an avid hunter, just a wonderful guy. Diane, her passion was cooking. She was always doing something wonderful in the kitchen.
On a September morning in 2003, the serenity of this small town ended abruptly when shots were fired in the Johnson home.
911, what is your emergency?
There have been 2 gunshots.
Okay, where's the shots coming from?
The daughter came over here and said that somebody shot her parents.
If you're ready for change, we can stop talking about the outrage of 47 million people without health insurance. We can start finally doing something about it. And this is personal for me. My mother died of cancer when she was 53 years old. And that was hard enough, but I remember her reading insurance forms in the last months of her life because she had gotten a new job, and the insurance company were saying, well, maybe this is a pre-existing condition, and we don't have to pay your medical bills. So I know what it's like to see a loved one suffer, not just because they're sick, but because of a broken healthcare system. And it is wrong. And that is why I put forward a plan that says every American will get health care that is at least as good as the health care I have as a member of Congress.
Memories of Vietnam haunted Marine Corps veteran Steve Kinsey for 30 years.
30 years I was ballistic, wide awake, they call it hypervigilant. For 30 years, just dealing with things that happened in Vietnam, which were sometimes very horrible, on your own. And you just stuff your feelings, you just go on with your life, but inside you're in total turmoil.
Steve's anguish flared in bar fights and self-destructive behavior. 30 years of suffering left him empty and numb.
And I walked around the farm at 4 in the morning, just tears running down my face. And I started to think that was normal.
But 8 years ago, a friend handed him a VA pamphlet on PTSD.
I'll tell you, after I read that pamphlet and everything in that, every page was me, I sat in my basement for 2 hours and I just cried. I couldn't believe it. I said, what has happened to me?
I was born in 1922, and before I was born,
there was nothing in the valley at all. Nothing. One little old dirt road.
Rob Pickering sits in his Issaquah home, surrounded by the yellowing photographs of his past.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the old governor that was governor of Washington Territory, appointed by Abe Lincoln, fifth territorial governor, not state. It was a territory, bigger than the state it is now. Was governor from 1861 to 1865.
In 1865, Rob's great-grandfather, William Pickering, the old governor, bought 160 acres of prime farmland just south of Lake Sammamish for $1.50 an acre.
Hi, my name's Tom Meyer. I'm an artist in Seattle, working with the King County Art Commission and fellow artist Dan Corson.
My name's Dan Corson. I'm one of the co-artists on this project, Control Illumination.
We had this idea to put in an interactive piece that would get people involved with art and with one another.
The lights are four very powerful xenon spotlights. There are about 200 million foot candles at the source, which means if you're within 10 feet of them, you could possibly be blinded, but we're shooting about 150 feet away, so there's probably no chance of that happening.
I first started taking pictures in 1934, and for several years I was groping around trying to imitate the big name photographers. For example, I have a very limited talent, no very ordinary talent in fact, and I'm aware of that. I'm considerably overrated. I can live with that, but in no other area would I have been a success. It's great to look back, and every one of these pictures have a great deal of meaning for me. This picture won numerous press awards in the portrait class. So it's usually the little subjects, not the big news subjects, that work for me. Well, it's a great subject. Any photographer would look good with this kind of a subject. And notice no elaborate lighting, very plain, very quick, no pretense. And a face like that doesn't need any embellishment. These faces are timeless. They were good yesterday, they're good today, and they'll be great tomorrow. So these are the subjects I've always sought out. This is my world, this is where I enjoy being, and these are the people I enjoy and relate to, and so on. So I have no greater ambition than that.
It's Amtrak's premier train. It's got the newest equipment, the finest service, and that's the passengers' write-in response that they've accumulated from our ridership, and the passengers have picked this train as being the finest train in the Amtrak system.
Jim became a brakeman in 1969. He's worked for Amtrak for the last 10 years.
Passenger train is the ultimate as far as a trainman is concerned. It's the best working conditions, the fastest travel from Portland to Seattle. It's nice conditions to work in.
He considers himself lucky.
Well, it's the job that people pick an avocation that they like. Some people don't find that for a few years. I found my avocation that I love to do right away. We travel through the best neighborhoods and the industrial neighborhoods and not quite as affluent neighborhoods. I've always liked traveling by train and working out here.
Your assignment, and I know you'll accept, is to have each full-time agent issue and pay at least 17 life policies this year. You know the urgency of this matter. Your job is to motivate, inspire, and support your agents so they accomplish this critical objective. Now take a look at the kit I've provided for you. It includes tools to assist you in accomplishing your mission. Meet with your agents right away and let them know that this is our mission possible. We must succeed. Your glasses will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
A new landmark will rise on Seattle's historic First Hill. A landmark of grace, comfort, and style. A landmark in living for a new generation of engaged, active adults. The Perry at Cabrini Center, an innovative, inspiring community at the height and heart of the city.
This will be a very active community. It's a community where people really will have an opportunity to live their life to the fullest and to do the things that perhaps when they were raising a family or having a job, they didn't have the time to do.
Conceived and sponsored by the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the Perry at Cabrini Center bridges an exciting future with a remarkable past.
Well, the Missionary Sisters is a congregation of religious women who were founded by St. Francis Cabrini.
A pioneer, Mother Cabrini built a hospital where the Perry Hotel once stood. Now, on the same site, the arch from that hotel, symbolic of strength and style, will grace the entrance to the Perry at Cabrini Center.
I think the sisters carried on today in doing the little things very well and not being afraid to take risk where they need to take the risk. And if you look at how the Perry is being structured, it really brings people to a community and a community to the people.
To create a building that was truly remarkable, that spoke to the values of the sisters, but also really fit within this community. So making this something special was a specific charge.
The Perry at Cabrini Center will blend classic beauty with modern comfort and security, establishing a new standard of excellence for independent people who seek community, connection, choice, and convenience in their retirement years.
I am an active person. It's hard for me to stay still and to sit down and watch television or just to sit around. I like to be on the go, and I like to travel. I like the theaters. I like going to the library. I like all the things that are available in downtown Seattle.
This new collaboration relationship creates an intellectual property bridge.
It was a conversation about how we work together with our customers. And that's what's most important to both organizations.
The partnership started when Novell contacted us to see if we wanted to work with them on interoperability issues and to see if we could resolve some customer concerns regarding intellectual property.
And this was customers saying if they want to plan the IT strategy for the future, they want to use Linux and Microsoft in the same environment.
Novell is a super ideal partner for us because of the way their business model is. When we announced the partnership, it was really based on 3 components. The first component was the technical interoperability. The second component was the intellectual property covenants. And then the third piece was the joint sales and marketing efforts, where we're working on making our products better together.
BMW really needed a dual vendor strategy story.
In the past, they bought all different kind of IT solutions.
looking at the data center, they had a total of 7 vendors. One of them was Microsoft. But when you looked over at the other side of the data center, at the Unix/Linux, then you would see that they had 6 vendors.
They were looking for ways to migrate them to an Intel-based server platform. Marco and I created a joint value proposition for BMW.
Through this proposition, we will be able to give BMW the optimal solution, which allowed them to realize what we call the dynamic data center concept, which is having Linux workloads and Microsoft workloads basically being shifted across the whole data center.